Now, after a couple of days of relatively spiky profiles, it's back to the flat first week template on stage 7, 231 kilometres, the longest stage of the race, running from Fougères to Chartres with just the usual fourth category climb on it after 120 kilometres, the intermediate sprint at 168 and the bonus seconds bang on 200.
Has he got the legs to contest this high-powered speed, this high-powered field, mixed at the moment still as it is with GC riders and Movistar vying with their elbows out for primacy right at the very front. JJ Rojas, Daniele Benatti as well, both those men used to the hurly-burly of a bunch sprint, and perfect lead-out men for Alejandro Valverde, Mikel Landa and Nairo Quintana to get to that 3-kilometre marker where they will be safe as GC riders.
Yeah, and now they're going to come in. Now they have this road. On this road, they're going to cross over one more roundabout, then they have the 5Ks to go. Then they've got until 2 kilometres to go when they have the right-hander in the last roundabout, and that's the last obstacle, if you like. And they're barely obstacles because they're big roads and with big roundabouts. So at the moment, Bora Hansgrohe moving up on the left side there. Dimension Data, they've gone a bit early. Quick Step are conspicuous in their absence. They're sitting there just waiting, and this is we know this is their tactic. They have the confidence and the skills to do this, because it does take confidence and a lot of skill to just time it and get it right and not panic, because sometimes if you panic and get out there too early, you get swamped.
You're right, David. Greg Van Avermaet in the yellow jersey is about 25 wheels down now, maybe 30 wheels down, and no teammates around him whatsoever, so he's kind of freestyling it through the pack at the moment, and a little bit vulnerable, the yellow jersey, unusually vulnerable for such a well-organised team.
Yeah, it is, but at the same time, Greg Van Avermaet is one of the best one-day racers in the world, and his natural habitat is freestyling around, and it will be second nature to him, and dare I say, he might even be more confident and more at ease, not having to follow teammates, and perhaps safer as well, because sometimes you have the fear that teammates panic a little bit much, and here they come flying down here. And let's not forget, when they come down through that 2Ks, that corner to go just after 2Ks, it goes downhill.
Look at that full-on lead-out from Team Sky now, switching from right to the left-hand side of the road to protect Geraint Thomas and Chris Froome. One rider's dropped off the back, that's Wout Poels, but we saw him a long way back, already a long way out. Luke Rowe, Gianni Moscon, there goes Geraint Thomas and Chris Froome. 4.6k to go, they'll be thinking about that 3-kilometre to go marker. And so too will Movistar, that's their interest as well. Bora Hansgrohe down the middle with Lucas Pustelberger, the Austrian national champion. They're trying to set up Peter Sagan for a second sprint victory.
And now you can see riders are starting to peel off as they're getting deeper into this. The speed will be so high, because let's not forget, although it's been 236 kilometres they've been racing, it has been 226 for a professional peloton of this quality. It hasn't been very hard, so we have got a lot of fresh legs and full complements of lead-out teams.
Same applies to Adam Yates now, with 2 men in the Mitchelton Scott colours. There they hone into view, and that's Dylan Groenewegen's team, actually, from Lotto NL Jumbo. Apologies, very similar colours, but there's the big Dutch sprinter, the man who won on the Champs-Élysées last year, and he has got his ducks in line really well this time. First time we've seen Lotto Jumbo so visibly in the latter stages of a lead-out.
And then we have Peter Sagan is just sitting there. He's sitting on the Movistar. I think it's Nairo Quintana who's in Valverde, and then comes Quick Step by him. So it looks like he's just going to fall onto Gaviria's wheel once more, because that seems to be his target each time, which is the right one, because I think at the moment everyone considers Gaviria to be the fastest rider with the most calculated and fastest lead out. So the place to be for Peter Sagan is on Gaviria's wheel. You can just see there behind the Belgian national champion is Peter Sagan, the green jersey.
Van Avermaet in the yellow jersey, exposed to the wind alongside the train of Bahrain Merida with Vincenzo Nibali there, but they're thinking about Sonny Colbrelli. Don't forget the Italian, already a second place in a bunch sprint and a live threat to all the others. He is a candidate. There's Marcel Kittel with Niels Pollitt though, and Rick Zabel trying to look around to see where his 2 German teammates from Katusha Alpecin are. They're on the right-hand side of the road. Left-hand side of the road, another big German, Marcel Seberg, piloting as he has done so many times. Andre Greipel into the right position. Cavendish still with Janse van Rensburg and Bosenhagen and Mark Renshaw still to use with 2.7 kilometres to go, but he's close to the front, Cavendish. Does he really want to be that close to the front right now?
I think that's not the first time it's happened to him, but I tell you what's interesting is just watching how skilled Greg Van Avermaet is. He's just floating around, picking and choosing his wheels. We see teams come and go, and other GC riders relying on a teammate to almost pilot fish them around. There you go, Greg Van Avermaet just moving up slightly, but let's not forget, he's not your normal GC rider or a person in yellow jersey. He is a one-day racer who is in the yellow jersey. One
of the very best in the world as well. Alexander Kristoff now in about, he's just latching onto the train of Dimension Data alongside Mark Mark Cavendish about 10 wheels from the front. It's Cofidis right on the front now, trying to set things up for Christophe Laporte. Here to sprint instead of Nacer Bouhanni, they switch over to the left-hand side. This is where it is lightning fast down to the Flamme Rouge. Really perilously speedy here.
Yeah, this is where it's going to be flattens a bit, but the road is a beautiful surface and it opens up even wider. So this is the narrowest bit before the finish, and now they're going to go along here, then it's going to drop down, and they're going to be spinning out their gears completely. Even if they're running, they'll probably be in 54.11, some 54.10 maybe even, but you're going to see some of the riders, the lead out, spinning out before they hit that final kick up to the finish.
Cavendish has dropped to about 10th wheel. The Groupama FDJ team sweep past him. Cavendish losing position, but he's on the right wheel, I think, at the moment, or he seems content with where he is. Looking for Mark Renshaw. There's Dylan Groenewegen alongside him. They're looking around to see where Cavendish is. Cavendish just dropping out of contention a bit now, in about 15th place, and they're piling forward.
But he might have just fallen to find it so perfectly on Peter Sagan's wheel, which is a great wheel to be on. Now Peter Sagan, once again, he's just glued. You can see him glued to Gaviria's wheel. Riquesi there. So Riquesi, who has proven to be the fantastic leader on Lampart's wheel, the Belgian national champion. Now it's Mark Renshaw who's gone early, so he knows how fast it is. And now we've got FDJ on the front for Demar. And but there, let's look a bit behind. It's Peter Sagan still with the two quick-step riders. So Gaviria still has two riders in front of him for his lead-out. So let's see his FDJ as well. He's got three because he's got one in second place. So Quick-Step have done this perfect.
And this is a long drag up to the final 100 metres. And if you open up your sprint from here, it is a long way out. 600 metres still to go. And Fernando Gaviria a little bit betwixt and between, with Max Riquesi trying to lead him out. Here's Gaviria looking ominously cool. There's the green jersey of Sagan. Once again, those two. Dylan Groenewegen sitting on there. Arnaud Demar, Alexander Christophe, Cavendish still in the mix as well. Andrea Pasqualon. It's a battle royale. They're all there. Sonny Colbrelli, John Degenkolb down the middle. Now Gaviria goes though. Can anyone answer him this time? Christophe Muscular on his wheel. Here comes Groenewegen. Can the man who won in Paris finally get the better of the field? Cavendish still sprinting for position, but now he sits up. It's going to be Dylan Groenewegen to take his first win and silence his doubters here in 2018. And what a powerful ride that was. Everyone was talking about Gaviria, everyone was talking about Sagan, but Groenewegen proved them all wrong, and he did it in style.
We'll see here. So there goes Christophe goes first. There's Groenewegen who's on his wheel. Riquesi is gone, so it's just Gaviria who's been going for a while now. Peter Sagan just doesn't have the legs here. Groenewegen just dominates that sprint. Mark Cavendish got his back wheel clipped, but I think he'd already run out of legs there. But Groenewegen, that was a dominating sprint.
And a huge margin of victory over a brilliant rider in Fernando Gaviria. And look, he's beaten Peter Sagan by a length that no one else has managed to so far on the Tour de France.
There's the result. Arnaud Demar was fourth behind Groenewegen, Gaviria and Sagan, with another Frenchman, Christophe Laporte, completing the top five. Andre Greipel was eighth and Mark Cavendish ended up 10th.
Dylan, you have it. You have that stage victory after a difficult start to the Tour de France. You must be very, very satisfied, relieved.
It was very difficult. I have not the good legs in the beginning of the Tour, but it's going better every day. And I say give it some time and maybe the legs are there. And I feel me very good in the fourth stage, but yeah, the good timing was missing, and today we did it. So yeah, it's amazing. I'm really grateful for myself and also for my team.
Yeah, the timing was perfect. You took off, you managed to catch up Gaviria, overtake him. It was your day.
Yeah, I was behind Christophe, and he was going. I stayed in his view, and I was thinking, yeah, now's the moment, and I was going with 200 meters, I think, and it was good enough.
Well, he first came to our attention at the Tour of Yorkshire 2 years ago and announced himself as a Tour de France sprinter on the Champs-Élysées last year. Now he's re-announced himself. Dimension Data's two marks, Cavendish and his lead-out man Renshaw, seem to lose contact just inside the 2 kilometre mark. You can see Renshaw looking over his shoulder here, with Cavendish several places back. But still, Cavendish seemed well placed when the sprint was launched. Mark,
you're in pretty good position coming into the last kilometre. Just tell us what happened from there.
I was following quite good wheels, you know. They were coming, going. It was choppy, like, you know. I was just picking wheels, like, and yeah, it seemed to be good. But now when I went to go, like I said, Quick-Step and Bora just got a different kind of level, like top speed, you know. And I thought actually when I kicked, like, I was floating in the last things. I was quite excited when I kicked. Actually, I've looked at my power, it's pretty good. But I'm not going to match him. Then I had a little come together with Alex at the end, and I think it might have been my fault, so just kind of stopped me dead, you know. So that was that.
Mark, we saw you hit the front there in a bit of an unaccustomed position with about a kilometre to go. Was that a sort of change of plan that you made as you went along?
No, we look, I think in the last corner, not in the last corner, but at 2Ks to go there, we had a crunch point to the right. I heard Cav yell, Mark, and then I know he's not in the wheel. So I turned around after the corner. I looked back 10, 15 spots, didn't see him. I'm not sure how far back he was. And at that point, it's better I just keep it on a high speed. So if he is in the top 10, then, they can do a half normal sprint rather than bunching up. And so the options are pretty limited in that case.
In some ways, he's a bit pessimistic when he spoke to us after the finish. He sort of said that Bora and Quickstep have got too much speed. Is that your feeling as well?
Because Lotto Jumbo won today. So, yeah, there's special sprints so far here in the Tour de France. They seem to all be uphill, slight headwind, so it's quite hectic. I didn't see the exact what happened there in the final. I'm not sure where he ran, but look, we rode great till 2K to go, and yeah, we just lost it there.
You'll keep trying?
Yeah, we got another chance tomorrow, and then we go into survival mode for a little while.
For Peter Sagan, today represented a slight drop in quality, but from a ludicrously high standard. Third being his lowest placing on a sprint stage so far. And he's comfortably over 200 points now, with a lead of 31 on Fernando Gaviria. No one else is really in the running for the green jersey. The only real change in GC today was Greg Van Avermaet buying some insurance at the sprint for the bonus seconds and doubling his lead over Geraint Thomas to 6. Other than that, the relative time gaps stay the same as far as the overall contenders are concerned. So a guaranteed 5th day in yellow for Greg Van Avermaet, and every chance that he'll carry it onto the cobbles on Sunday.